single life for an extended period of time, what happens, you've been doing things on your own.
Yeah.
You make your own decision when you want to do it. You decide where you're going to eat. You decide where you're going to live. You decide where you're going to work. You decide where the kids are going to go to school. You decide when you're going to start that business. You decide what church you're going to. You decide where everything that takes place, you decide that. And so once you get two and they become one, now a husband and a wife, and now they're living together, now you can't even figure out where you're gonna go eat now.
Yeah.
It's like an issue, like, no, we ate there last time. No, I don't want my kid to go there.
I don't want that. And then you give them an option of, no, I don't want that too. I don't know what I want, but I don't want that. Yeah.
And so most people, it's not a popular conversation is because they think that's a problem. But one of the things that in marriage I've learned, and I used to see this word is totally negative, but there has to be a healthy compromise.
It's really a little unhealthy to always want to be happy. And bear with me because I know that kind of sounds strange, but I think it's unrealistic to think that in this life where a whole bunch of weird stuff happens on a daily basis, that we cannot control, to always think that you're going to feel happy, particularly in a marriage, is unrealistic and it's unfair. And the reason why I think it's unfair is because I think it puts a lot of weight on your spouse because they have such a intricate part to play in your happiness, right? And I think it's unfair for me to think that Billy is going to make me happy every single day.
Really, to be honest, Ricky is extremely transparent, when it comes to a lot of things. And I am most of the time, but what caught us off guard is things that we didn't even realize would be baggage. Okay. Things that seemed to us like, well, this is nothing. Later on, it was like, oh, well, wait, this is something, One thing that we recently have gone through is, building credit and stuff. And that's something that you don't think about in the dating phase of things, but it can really, catapult you into success or it can hinder you. So that's one thing that, we've started working on, as individuals and as a couple is stuff like that, to make big purchases.
Yeah, spouses, they miss or they neglect when they go on a vacation. What do you think one of those things are?
I would have to say those conversations, those times, because sometimes you can get so caught up in all the attractions, right? You go to a city, you're like, we're not going to waste our time here or our money that we use to come here. We want to see all the things, Okay. And so in the middle of seeing all the things, we forget to connect with one another. So it still becomes just a part of the motion of everything that we got going on.
And what if you add kids to that?
Oh, yeah.
That becomes a little bit more difficult, right?
I would imagine because, we haven't really traveled with small kids. We're hoping to take our grandkids one day, to Disney or something, but we're not there yet. But I can only imagine that double magnifies, the time that could be chaotic.
So today we're going to be talking about drift. So drift is something in marriage that kind of happens and you almost aren't aware of it. Life is happening, kids are happening. As they say nowadays, life is lifing, right? And
I've never heard of it.
Never? Oh my gosh,
she's
babe.
A podcaster and she listens to all these YouTube videos and TED Talks and stuff. So she got all
the lingo.
Yeah,
all the
lingo. I'm totally behind. But go ahead. Life is lifing.
Life is lifing. And so what ends up happening is you and your spouse may not feel as connected or as close as you once did. And so I want to take a few minutes today. Well, we want to take a few minutes today and talk about how drift happens, what it looks like, and maybe offer a few solutions, things that we've done.
Yeah, some people may have sexual abuse, so they look at sex no matter what with a stigma.
Yeah.
And it's traumatic, and they never took that deep dive. And that's why the church and Christians should be leading the way to help people get out of that trauma, speak about that, find freedom there and healing. And then when they do approach marriage, they approach it, with a healthy view of what sex is. Because sex, according to the Bible, is for two reasons, for reproduction and for pleasure.
Yeah.
It's all throughout the Bible. In Proverbs, it talks about how, you should let her breast satisfy you at all times. It's not talking, breasts don't reproduce, so it's not talking about reproduction. It's talking about you enjoying your wife's breast. That's just for pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know that sounds crazy, but that's for pleasure. Then it talks about being fruitful and multiplying. That's talking about reproducing and multiplying the whole earth, meaning we need to have children. Now, I think we get the procreation side. We get the multiplication side, but so many times we miss the pleasure side. Like, you gotta feel condemned because you want to enjoy sex. Ain't nobody been finna be sitting down and feeling bad because I want to enjoy sex tonight. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Ain't nobody finna, I'm not finna be running around looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Putting my head down and put my tail, like a dog putting a tail between their legs. No. Okay. The Bible says it's okay to enjoy sex. Yeah. And so I think that my view is you.
Today we're going to be talking about 13 things we've learned in 13 years of marriage.
Okay, that's what we're going to talk about?
I mean, we were supposed to do half, or I do 7, you do 6.
Okay.
And so...
Now, this is freestyle because I didn't write nothing down. I don't know anything,
I don't
but
know how
I am
freestyle
ready.
it is. Full disclosure, I wrote mine down.
Oh, see how different we are? But that's what it's all about. Opposites attract.
Yeah.
But also, when you get married, opposites attack. Is it intentional to fall in love all over again? Or is it one of those things where you just, it just happens? Like, do you do it on purpose or you try hard? I mean, what is that? What's your thoughts on that?
I'd have to say that falling in love initially took work. And I think that falling in love or staying in love takes work. And then falling in love again takes work. So I think all of it takes work. I think it's all intentional. I don't think that it's kind of like, you slipped and I fell and we just ended up in love.
So you don't believe that, I couldn't help it. I just started having a love for that person. You don't believe in that school of thought?
I can't say that I do. I really feel, I think that just on a basic human being level, but I think that just on a basic human being level, we do come, with a certain respect, like for the sanctity of life and things like that. But I think it takes intention to fall in love with a person. I'm not a love at first sight type of person. I do think you can look at somebody and be like, oh, he looked good to me, or, oh, she's cute, but I don't think that you're just like, oh, I'm in love. And the reason why is because in order for it to be authentic love, you have to put some skin in the game. Like, you got to go through some stuff. And so what would you say is the gift that you've received in our marriage?
Well, there's multiple gifts, so many gifts. But one of the gifts that I would like to highlight is the gift of growing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There is no one that has helped me grow more than you. God has used you in a great way. Obviously outside of a relationship with Christ, you're definitely the most significant person in my life when it comes to growing. And there's so many other gifts. Your servanthood is gifted me. Your love, your patience, your acceptance. That is a big one. Acceptance. I hadn't really had acceptance like that. Yeah. In a relationship.
You say that all the time. You always basically thank me. You say thanks. For accepting you for who you are, as a person. So,
well, when you
say
yourself,
that all the time.
It's difficult to accept you. When you know yourself. Now, some people are just totally in denial about how thrown off they are.
Oh, yeah.
How much of a mess they are. I know I'm a mess. I know I'm a trip.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, look here.
Yeah.
I am a piece of work. And
I agree.
I know that. And so, agree. But to be able to accept me and love me still, and to deal with me and don't want to throw me away and discard me, it means the world. So, but it's helped me grow. I don't think because I'm thrown off, I want to change just to please you.
Yeah.
But because you love me the way I am, and God's love through you really compels me to be a better person. You know, so I think growth, I mean, there is nothing like growing alongside of someone. And when you have someone growing as well, you know, it's just a beautiful thing. You know, you're not stuck. I'm going to tell you the most difficult people, the most miserable people there are. Not difficult people, the most miserable people.
And usually miserable people are difficult. So that's
I'm difficult, but I'm not miserable. So that's why I want to make sure I am a difficult person. But I'm saying the most miserable people are people who are not growing.
That's true.
Those are the most unhappy people. Those are the most tortured people.
Yeah.
Are people who are not growing. And so it's another thing on the flip side of that coin. The most blessed people, the most happy people, the most people that are really thriving are people that are growing, people that are making changes, the right changes. So you have been a gift to me in so many ways, but one of the things that you make me a better person. You know, and I think that if you really think about it, marriage is intended for you to become holy. I think so many people have gotten married and they want to really lean in on trying to be happy.
Yeah.
But happiness is not the point. Holiness is the point.
Yeah. And we actually have
a
whole segment on that.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one, but if you want to go back through the Marriage Moments episodes, we actually talk about happiness versus holiness in marriage.
Yeah, we did talk about that. And I think that's so important because people think it's a happy matrimony when it's a holy matrimony.
Yeah.
Why do you think people just don't want to dive in and try to learn, like, why is he saying holy matrimony?
Yeah.
Because this togetherness is going to cause you to transform. It's supposed to. And if you don't want to transform, that's why people usually come with irreconcilable differences.
Yeah.
We can't get along, so we're going to get a divorce. It's like, okay, because somebody just didn't want to grow.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing that you can't grow through.
It does take work.
Oh, yeah.
It does take, and it is uncomfortable. So I think that might be why people want to avoid it, you know. But ultimately, it does prove to be profitable in the end when you do commit to growing through difficult times with one another.
And that's why I say growing is the gift, because now you can apply that to any relationship.
Yeah.
You can apply this in your business life. You can apply this in your parenting. You can apply this at your job. You can apply this in your friendships. You can apply this anywhere. So you take that growth with you. Because growth is internal. It's in you. And
you're growing as a person.
As a person. And you take you wherever you go.
That's so good.
And that's one of the most beautiful things that I've seen. You've made me a better person.
Okay.
And
that's good.
That's a gift that, I mean, I owe you for the rest of my life.
I think being loved well has helped me grow into a better person too. Okay. Because when you're loved well, it helps you just be able to afford grace to people, and because you think about all the grace that has been afforded to you, and then it helps you to be able to have empathy and just kind of want to meet a person where they are, you know, as opposed to feeling like, well, nobody met me where I was, so you gotta, you know, come up to my standard or whatever.
Yeah, you burn down elementary and make everybody start in high school.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone's not going to be in the 9th grade immediately.
Right.
You got to be patient and watch them go through the journey and the steps
from
kindergarten through 8th grade. And I think that is something that, you know, many people, they don't like to do. I mean, it is difficult. It is difficult to be able to love someone well right where they're at.
Right where they're at. Yeah. And that's an important piece in marriage. And I think that's a gift that you can give your spouse is grace. And so just spinning off of that, what I just said, giving your partner the gift of grace, I cannot say, well, I guess I did do that, but I didn't call it that, like give you grace in certain areas. But you're just now saying basically I did because I've helped you grow.
Well, I mean, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said you helped me grow. But I didn't say that you gave me grace. But I mean, you have.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that you gave me grace.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say that, you know.
Okay.
I'm going to say that.
Okay. Go ahead and attach it to it.
Because what I'm not going to do is put words in your mouth.
Well, you tried.
So I did. So, but I'm going to take them back. And I'm going to just say them out of my own mouth.
Yeah, but you did.
So
the reality is you did, but I didn't say that. But you did give me grace. I mean, how can you be married 13 years and someone don't give you grace?
Yeah.
I mean, I deserved like a lot of condemnation, a lot of calling out, a lot of pointing out. I mean, I was, you know, when I say difficult, like, I'm difficult. Like, I like things a certain way, and it's just like, I'm very meticulous.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm talking about like grace in, like when you make mistakes, like maybe you purchase something and we ended up being like, dang, why did we make that decision? Or why did I make that decision?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I think that's what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, grace in those areas is important too, you know, but I'm saying like grace in things that have cost us as a family, you know, like maybe, I don't know, like I can think of like maybe a purchase or something, or not purchasing something and we should have. And now it's like, gosh, if we would have made that decision then, we'd be in a better place now or something.
Yeah.
And so I think that that giving your person grace to grow into the man that you would like for him to be, and not try to browbeat him into the man you'd like him to be.
And then also, I think
or woman.
I think people are already looking for someone already fixed up and already, you know, like exactly the way they want them to be.
Oh, yes.
And they just, I mean, it's rare. I mean, you got to put in work.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to mold them into who you want them to be. Yeah. But the reality is, I mean, that perfect knight in shining armor and that princess,
they don't exist.
They don't exist. Like, you have to get with someone and deal with their issues, because human beings are a mess.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to get in a messy situation, if you don't want to get into a relationship that's going to be, you know, full of flaws and people are going to be feeble and fickle, and, you know, people are going to be frail. The reality is that is marriage, broken pieces. I mean, people that are broken and people who are relying on a greater power. We're going to say Jesus, because that's who we worship. And you gotta have someone that's gonna, you know, counsel you and mentor you, coach you through. And so if you don't want to deal with someone and take them step by step, I mean, it's unrealistic. You know the reason why it's unrealistic? Think about it. Would you marry you? Let's just be real. The way you are, the way you mess up, the way you know, fall short. And if you're just being real with yourself, you know you have a lot of flaws. You know you're messed up. And that's just not fair to say that someone already have arrived. And once you come to that conclusion and that realization, you're probably ready for marriage.
Yeah.
That you're going to go through a journey with someone.
I think it's also important to note that you're going through a journey with someone who's willing to go on the journey.
Right.
We're not talking about build a husband, build a wife project. You know, we're saying the grace that you're affording to this person is because this person is trying. This person is working towards being a better person. They're working on their childhood trauma. They're working on their issues. And so because they're working on it, you're willing to give them the grace that says, okay, you're working on that. You may have so many more steps to go or whatever. So I'm not going to treat you like you're not trying.
Well, I mean, not only trying, you need to be progressing.
Yeah,
because
progressing.
I mean, just trying, you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's okay. No, we ain't just having just a little trying stuff, you know? Because trying sounds like it's too much energy, and then it leaves a whole bunch of room for defeat.
Yeah.
I don't need room for defeat at all. You need to be making progress.
Yeah.
There are some non-negotiables. When I say going on the journey, I'm glad that you said that. It ain't like you just go pick up a crackhead up off the streets, you know what I'm saying? And say, well, we're going to go walk. I mean, nothing against crackheads, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, I mean, just don't trip when you come home and everything's gone. Everything's smoked up. Everybody took the couch out. You know what I mean? Don't trip out when your car is not home or they don't pick you up from work. I mean, this is reality.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying,
it is. You're right.
Journey,
yeah,
when I'm saying
you're right.
Journey, I'm not saying just pick anybody. I'm saying someone that is making progress.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then when you get on and married and you say, okay, I do.
Yeah.
The journey continues.
The journey continues.
And they may miss the mark and they may hit it, the target, and they may miss the mark again, and they may fall. And you can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
You know, it's like, hold on.
Yeah.
You know, we're on a journey. Now, I guess I just start going too hard because she pushed me. But the
reality
reality is, for real, some people, they'll just take a little bit of anything.
Yeah, that's what we don't want to promote.
Anything.
We don't want to promote that, but we do want to promote giving your partner the gift of grace.
Absolutely. Because
marriage is a gift, and that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah, and when you have a gift, what you do is you open it up, and most people, when they have a gift, they appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I want to say I'm grateful
That's so
for you.
good. Yeah.
I'm grateful for you because you are the gift. And so being that you are the gift, I want to make sure that I'm always grateful. Mm-hmm. I'm always thankful, and I express that because gratitude that's not expressed is not gratitude at all.
Yeah.
And so publicly,
unexpressed gratitude can be interpreted as ingratitude.
And matter of fact, it is ingratitude.
Yeah.
I mean, because how do I know you're grateful if you haven't
expressed it?
You know, so I mean, it's so important to say it.
Yeah.
That's why when you praise God, you don't just be quiet. You say
it out of your mouth. Yeah.
You say it. Thank you, Jesus. You say it. And so it's so important. You clap, right? The Bible says you put your hands together. It's an action. It's something that's being expressed. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't express it, it don't exist.
That's so good.
So that's why I'm saying I'm grateful. And I'm grateful for you. And you are the gift. I mean, and, obviously, you being the gift, you help me grow, And so if you're out there today and you have a spouse, just really evaluate, how have they gifted you? Mm-hmm. How have they been a gift to you? How have they made you better? How have they grown you? What are some things that you want to highlight about your spouse? Because so many times we're in a world that always love to critique.
Yeah.
They love to criticize. They love to point out your flaws. How about identifying something in your relationship that you are grateful for that has gifted you, made you a better person? Mm-hmm. You can put that in the comment section. You can think about that so you can just really process what you have instead of what you don't have.
Yeah. That's so important. That's so good. Yeah. Well, you've been a gift to me too. Like I said, you've loved me well. I'm grateful for you too. I think that you definitely make me a better woman. You've helped me grow in areas of my life that I would have just kindly left packaged away and unattended to. It would have just been easier, but because you helped me to identify certain things and to have a desire to deal with them, I feel like I've grown as a woman, and as a person. And so I'm thankful for that too. So marriage is a gift, and you never want to take it lightly. You always want to be grateful for your spouse. You always want to be gracious to your spouse. And you also want to be generous with your spouse. Don't be stingy. This man is not ever stingy with me. If anything, I can be stingy, but he's never stingy. He's very giving. I can be. Well, as a matter of fact, since we're talking about gifts, I'll never forget the time.
I thought she was about to say she had a gift for me.
I actually do.
Okay, go ahead.
But because I usually cannot hold on to gifts, I like to give gifts immediately. Yeah. I'm trying to do better with that and actually wrap it and put it under the tree and all that. But I remember one time you told me my gifts suck. Like, I give horrible gifts. And he said it with all the love that he could muster, but he was like, babe, you really need to step your gift game up.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I didn't say it sucked, but I did say you need to step it up.
That's what I heard.
Okay. See how you interpret.
Yeah. And so then when I went back and looked at it, I was like, yeah, my gifts, I do need to step my game up.
Let me tell you something.
Well, we don't want to go that. We don't want to go that far.
No.
What
my
we will
gift
do
game on a whole nother level.
What we will do is say I have set my gift game up. I believe.
Okay.
And he does too. Don't you?
I do too.
You do believe that I've improved, have I not? Anyway, marriage is a gift, and we do know that for sure.
I'm trying to process. No, you didn't.
That's horrible. No, we don't want to give you enough time because you're.
Yeah. You have.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for joining us again. Marriage Moments with the Allens. This is our 12th episode. We've been doing this for a year. We really like sharing our moments with you, and we will continue. So if you would like to share this and so other people can join our community, we would be greatly appreciative. And again, God bless you. Merry Christmas. May your family be blessed this upcoming year. And we will see you guys next year. But we might send a bonus episode too.
We may.
So
Marriage Moments with the Allens, because
every moment matters.